Glacier National Park, one of the most beautiful national parks my family and I have ever been to. Come along with me and I'll show you where to go and what to do at Glacier National Park.
Welcome to VO's Travel. Where to go and what to see. With kids.
Glacier National Park is primarily located in Montana. To be a little more specific, the northeastern part of Montana. Here's an outline of the park. The last little portion up at the northern tip is actually located in Canada. There is only one road that goes from east to west, and that is called the Going to the Sun Road. It connects the west entrance to the St. Mary entrance. Due to being so north and a higher elevation, the Going to the Sun Road is only open late summer to early fall. There is a vehicle restriction of 21 feet long, 10 feet high, or 8 feet wide. If your vehicle exceeds any of those measurements, you are prohibited from driving the Going to the Sun Road. That means you will not be able to go across the park. You'll have to go out and around. There are 7 entrances into Glacier National Park. The first and the northwestern one is the Polebridge entrance. The second one is Camas Road. The third one is the west entrance. This is the 2 Medicine entrance. This is where the Cut Bank entrance is located. This is St. Mary, which is connected to the west. This one is Mini Glacier, and like I said, St. Mary's does connect to the west on Going to the Sun Road. Besides the Going to the Sun Road, Camas Road is the only entrance that does connect you to other areas of the park. All of the other entrances are just a straight road into the park and then they dead end. They do not connect to any other place in the park. So altogether, we spent about 1.5 days in Glacier National Park. Let me tell you about our itinerary. We left from West Yellowstone the day before and drove 2 hours to Cardwell, Montana, where we stayed the night. The next morning from Cardwell, Montana, we made our way up to Mini Glacier and stopped in Choteau for lunch. We found this awesome little place called the Log Cabin Cafe, and I highly recommend it. It was super quaint and had really great food. From there, we made it up to Mini Glacier by about 3:30 p.m. We were told that the Mini Glacier area of Glacier National Park was one of the most beautiful places in all of Glacier National Park, and let me tell you, they were right. You need to make it a priority to go to Mini Glacier. The road was under construction to get from the entrance into the park, and it took us about a half hour to get into that area. Once we arrived, we stopped at Mini Glacier Hotel, and it took our breath away. The weather was a little chilly and drizzly, but that didn't matter. It was gorgeous.
Glacier National Park? Switzerland, technically.
This is called Mini Glacier. Apparently, when this area was discovered, it reminded those people of Switzerland and the Swiss Alps specifically. So they designed and built a hotel in a Swiss style. And to this day, the people that work inside actually wear lederhosen. It's such a fun area. It was one of our goals to see a moose while in Glacier National Park, and we were told the best spot for that is to hike to Fishercap Lake in the Mini Glacier area, so that is exactly what we did. After, of course, checking out the lake behind the Mini Glacier Hotel. We did stop for a quick photo op on our way from the hotel back to our car. Then it was about a 5-minute drive up to Swiftcurrent Inn where the trailhead starts. You will head out on the Swiftcurrent Pass Trail, which starts on the west side of the parking lot.
Going on Swiftcurrent Pass Trail and going to Fishercap Lake.
What do we hope to see there?
Moose.
What do we not want to see on our trail?
Bear.
Do we have bear spray?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
You will follow the Swiftcurrent Pass Trail for about 10 to 12 minutes until you get to this tree that has a little seat built in. At that point, take a left and it will direct you straight to Fishercap Lake. Our initial plan was to pack a picnic dinner and sit at the lake and watch for moose to come out. But like I said earlier, the weather was chilly and rainy, so we kind of ditched that plan and just hung out at the lake instead. Unfortunately, we did not see a moose. We were told that moose generally come out a little later in the season. We were here the beginning of June. But July and August, you are almost guaranteed to see moose at Fishercap Lake. Maybe next time. After that hike, we did go back to the Mini Glacier Hotel just because we really loved it. So we grabbed some hot chocolate from the first floor and headed out to their back porch as we had a beautiful view of Swiftcurrent Lake. So we were at the Mini Glacier area, which is the red dot, and we needed to get over to the blue dot, which is West Glacier. And if you remember earlier, the only way to get across the park is by driving on Going to the Sun Road. But it does have those vehicle restrictions, and we were driving an RV that was 24 feet long. So we had to go out of the park, down and around the entire national park, and into West Glacier entrance. And that drive took us about 2.5 hours. It was a beautiful drive despite the sun setting, and we arrived to our campground, which was Fish Creek Campground, just inside West Glacier, around 10 p.m. that night. We got up bright and early the next morning and headed over to Apgar Village. I highly recommend checking out that area. It's right on Lake McDonald, and there's lots of gift shops, a great spot for coffee, and I highly recommend an iced vanilla huckleberry latte. It was amazing. And we just hung out for a couple hours looking around. Lots of people were renting kayaks and going out on Lake McDonald. If we would have had more time, I would have definitely done that. It was beautiful. But our goal for the day was to hike to Avalanche Lake, so we set out on the Going to the Sun Road, a portion that we were able to drive on, and headed to the trailhead. Note, past Avalanche Lake, that is where the restrictions for vehicle size come into play. We were lucky enough to get a parking spot and headed out on Trail of the Cedars.
We're on Trail of the Cedars to go to Avalanche Lake.
The first part of the hike was really beautiful, and we walked along this beautiful raging river. And then it started getting a little tough. It was basically uphill almost the entire way. I did this hike back when I was a kid, and I don't remember it being tough at all. All I remember was the amazingly gorgeous view once we got to the top, and that's what kept me going. We did have to stop for lots of breaks along the way and make sure to take lots of water. About an hour into our hike, we came upon this area that had been previously demolished by an avalanche, and it was a great spot for a picture. And then a half hour past then, we made it to Avalanche Lake, and it was everything that I had remembered it to be. The first spot that you come to, there are a lot of logs laying down, and the kids had lots of fun climbing around, and only one of my 3 children fell in. It was such a beautiful area. We hung out at Avalanche Lake for maybe, 30 to 40 minutes, just taking it all in. But if you walk just maybe 100 feet past the logs, you'll come to an area that's a little bit more beach-like, and the photos that you get from that area don't have all those logs in the foreground. All in all, the hike took us about 3.5 hours, about an hour and a half to get up there, about a half hour to 45 minutes there, and then an hour and 15 minutes back down. We trekked a total of 6.6 miles, and we were tired. By this time, it was about 4:30 p.m., so we made a quick dinner and then headed out of the park. We still had about a 2.5 hour drive to our campsite, and then we were headed to Seattle for the next leg of our trip. I hope you like this video, and I hope you get the chance to fall in love with Glacier National Park like we did, especially the Many Glacier area. That was our favorite. And as always, I hope that you choose joy and take all of the pictures.